Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a little minute. The last time I recorded a video, it was the unfinished nursery. Let me give you a quick look at the nursery. Everything is kind of like put together now. Somewhat, but it's to my liking, fresh, whatever, to the point. Anyway, this is my birth story and how everything that could have gone wrong went wrong and nothing I wanted or imagined happened. So annoying, but let's just get into it. All right, so if you hear my son crying in the background, he's fed, he's being loved, he just wants to be constantly held right now and walked, like stuff like that. So he's crying. Anyway, so my baby was due August 25th, and I did not give birth until September. I was 41 and 1, so I was already a week over, and you could just imagine how I felt. I was just tired. I was over it. It just was not happening. I would have loved for him to be born in August. It would have been special because his due date was my dad's birthday. My mom's birthday's in August. My birthday's in August. David, my stepson, for those who don't know, is born in August as well. So it would have just been really nice for him to be born in August as well. But he decided not to do that. Now, my birthday is actually August 31st. It's the last day of August. And I'm just like, okay, kid, what are you going to do? Are you going to come on my birthday? What? And at this point, it's on my birthday. I was 40 weeks and 6 days. So the next day would have been me being 41. And I did everything. And I mean, I did everything to try to get this baby out. But my son said, no, I don't want to come out. It's not happening. So the original plan, if you watch the past videos, that I did not want to give birth in a hospital. We chose a birth center, Atlanta Birth Center. And I had midwives. I had a doula. All the right things. Everything was just kind of aligning up for me to go ahead and give birth. And it would have been a nice, beautiful birth. I was planning to have a water birth. So everything was just supposed to be just great, right? Okay. So September 1st comes along and it's my birthday. It's already, I'm not feeling the best on my birthday because I didn't want to be pregnant on my birthday. But here I was pregnant. Baby doesn't seem like he's coming or whatever. So 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, I wake up to a super sharp pain and I'm like, okay, do I got a boo-boo? Like, what's going on? What is happening? And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna ignore it. And then a few moments later, it happens again. So I was like, you know what? Let me get up. Let me try to go poop, right? Nothing's going on. So while I'm sitting on the toilet, the pain happens again. And I'm like, this seems a little bit consistent. What's going on? Mind you, Joseph is sleeping. My mom is sleeping. I'm just kind of dealing with this kind of realization that I might be having contractions right now on my own. So I go to the living room, I lay down on the couch, and boom, it comes again. So I download the contractions app and I'm timing them. It's literally like clockwork, every 10 minutes. So around 3:40 in the morning, I call the on-call midwife and I'm like, hey, I'm having contractions right now. It's every 10 minutes, but I'm able to talk. The same way I'm talking right now, I'm able to talk and everything is like good. Like I'm able to talk through the pain. And so she's like, you know, just keep watch. We need it to be closer together. You'll know when you're in active labor because you won't be able to talk. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. And so yeah, so time goes by. I did not sleep at all because the pain was kind of intense. I can't really sleep through it. And so Joseph wakes up around 9 o'clock in the morning, and no, a little 8 o'clock because we had an appointment because I had to do a non-stress test because I'm 41 weeks. They just want to make sure that everything is okay with me and the baby. And I still had to go to the appointment. So we get ready. He wakes up. I tell him, I think I'm having contractions. It's every 10 minutes. This is where we are right now. And he's like, all right, cool. He does not go to work that day. We go in to the appointment and they put a monitor on my belly and a monitor my heart and the baby's heart and this like contractions monitor machine thing or whatever to monitor like if I'm really having contractions, which I was, which is every 10 minutes exactly. Like that's how it hit the form that was, you know, monitoring everything. And so she's like, okay, well, everything is okay with the baby. Heart rate is perfect. He's, you know, everything is fine. And I can see, she was like, I can see your contractions as well, so yeah. And I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So how can we get this baby up out of me? You know, I'm tired. How can we get this process going? And so she's like, okay, well, we can try to do a membrane sweep. If that don't work, you need to do a BPP test. And then if that, you know, if everything's fine with that, then we're gonna have to induce you. I didn't want to be induced at all. So I was like, go ahead and do this membrane sweep. Let's, you know, let's get this thing rolling. And she goes and checked my cervix. My cervix is nowhere near open. So she is not able to do the membrane sweep. I'm like, oh my freaking gosh, are you kidding me? And so I'm like, okay, so y'all sending me home clearly because they can't take me until I'm about 6 centimeters. I'm like, I'm no centimeters right now. So I said, okay, cool, whatever. So she's like, go home, eat a good meal so you have your energy. I need you to walk and try to rest as much as you can so you can have that energy. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So I go home, we walk, I do some exercises, I do the mile circuit again, and I eat the leftover food I had from my birthday, which is the night before, which was like a steak. We went to Longhorn. And then around 4 p.m. contractions wanted to say, hello, I'm gonna intensify my pain. I'm gonna intensify your pain to let you know your baby's coming. And so the contractions were at this point about every 6 to 7 minutes. Yes, about every 6 to 7 minutes, and they were killer. And I'm just trying to I'm communicating with my doula. I'm trying to remember all the pain relief things that she's telling me to do. So I'm kind of laying down. Joseph's giving me massages when he can. The best pain relief I had was sitting in a tub of water, of warm water. So I'm sitting in the tub, but I'm still going through them. So I'm moaning and going like, ooh. Oh my gosh. So it's just like every time it comes, that's how I'm feeling. So I called the midwife again because they're like 5 minutes apart at this point. And I was like, well, I live an hour away and it's coming consistently every 5 minutes. And she was like, trust me, you're not in active labor yet because you wouldn't be able to talk. And so she's like, we need them a little bit closer together. And I'm like, but I live an hour apart. Like, my gosh. And so I was like, okay, whatever. I got out the tub. Because I just didn't want to waste any water. So I got out the tub and I barely make it to the bed. I couldn't make it to the bed. I lay down on the floor with a pregnancy pillow. I was texting my friends. I stopped texting them. I'm just like, I'm in so much pain. So much pain. So it's around like 7:30, 7:45. I call the midwife again. She said they're going to call me right back. Waiting for them to call back. She called back. I'm like, I can't take it anymore. It hurts so bad, like whatever. And she's like, all right, let's come in, let's see how far along you are, whatever, blah blah blah. So my mom get her bag, Joseph packs the car, puts the car seat in, all that other stuff. And Joseph put his hazards on and my baby was gone. Okay, I've never seen him drive like this. I'm in pain and in my head I'm just like, Lord, please don't let us get into any accident. Don't let us get pulled over, because my baby was driving so fast to get me to this birth center. We get to the birth center and they hook me up on the little monitors again and they see my contractions are closer apart. They check me. Y'all, I was only 2 centimeters. I wanted to cry because I'm like, I'm in so much pain since 3 o'clock that morning. So they're trying to figure out what to do with me and all this other stuff or whatever. And they know how exhausted, you could see how exhausted I already am. And so they gave me this shot. I don't remember what the shot was, but the labor would still continue to progress, but it will help me relax just a teensy weensy bit just so I can try and sleep. And so they were like, they don't want to send me home because I lived an hour away. Did I know anybody that lived close by or whatever? And thank God my sister-in-law wasn't in town at the moment, so we was able to go to her apartment. And when we got there, my water broke. I'm so sorry, sis, if you watch this. My water broke, but Joseph cleaned it up in her apartment. And I was just, that pain was so intense. At this point, it is September 2nd because we're going into the morning now, because we got to the birth center around 9 o'clock at night and we got released around 10ish going to 11. And so when we got to the apartment, we tried to settle in. Joseph tried to make everything comfortable for me. I'm laying down on the bed. I'm trying to sleep. It's hard to sleep through this pain, but I was able to get like maybe 15, 20 minutes or something like that. I don't remember. But I just remember I had to keep using the bathroom. And at one point, my doula, she was with us the entire time. Thank God for her. And so my doula, she got me a pad, like, because I was, you know, just in case of any discharge or anything like that. So I went to the bathroom and I pull my, you know, I go to pee and I look down at the pad. I'm like, oh, what the heck is this? So I call my doula and she's like, oh, that's your mucus plug, but there's some other stuff that's happening down there. So this whole time she's communicating with the midwives. So the midwives is like, yeah, send us a picture of what it looks like. And they send us a picture. So Joseph takes a picture of the pad and sends it over to, they send it over to the midwife, and the midwife was like, ooh, this is not good. And we was like, what happened? And it was like, well, it looks like that may be meconium, and if that's the case, she cannot give birth at the birth center. She's gonna have to get transferred to the hospital. Mind you, in this moment, y'all hear him wailing? I don't know what's going on out there. It's kind of, I kind of want to know, but I'm trying to be like that mom that's like, daddy can handle it. But what was I saying? Oh, so they were on speaker. So when I heard that, I was like, what did she say? What? And so, because I was like, why would I need to go to the medical center or whatever? And she's explaining why. And it's basically, meconium's basically the baby just basically pooped inside of me. He could be stressed. He could possibly inhale or aspirate, aspirate, I don't know, whatever. My brain is foggy right now. This meconium, which would not be good for him or myself. So at this point, I kind of want to cry. Because why is this happening? Why is it taking so, and I get it, first time moms, they tend to labor longer, but we're about to go on 24 hours of laboring. I'm tired. I'm in so much pain at this point. I'm not at the birth center, and y'all tell me I'm about to go to the hospital. So we end up at the hospital. We end up at the hospital, and from that moment, it seems like everything just went downhill. I 0 out of 10 would ever recommend this place. And it really kind of doesn't matter anymore because guess what? They're closing down in November. It was Atlanta Medical Center. So we got there. Once we got there, they put me in a room. They put me in a room with a bed that didn't even work. It wasn't the cleanliest place ever. The room they put me in, the bed didn't work properly, and it was some other stuff that was going on. I just wasn't really paying attention to it. I was just in that much pain. And of course, I had to be hooked up to monitors. Everything I did not want, so I couldn't freely move the way I wanted. It was awful. And it was just all bad. The nurses there, no one listened to me. It was like all of my fears was happening. All of my fears was happening. And at that point, I kind of wanted to give up, and I was like, you know what, I kind of want to be pain-free. I'm so tired. Can someone give me the epidural, or can I talk to the anesthesiologist about the epidural? We got there around 4 o'clock in the morning. No one ever saw me about the epidural. And I had to use the bathroom so many times. I kept telling them, I need to pee, I need to pee, I need to pee. My doula and my husband were my biggest advocates for me because no one was listening to me. Every time I had to pee, and I had to tell them multiple times, I have to use the bathroom. And so my doula, she got annoyed, and she was like, I'm just gonna pull the plugs out myself so the girl can go use the bathroom. So time is going on, and the pain is just getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm just like, yo, how the heck am I gonna push this baby out? How am I gonna push this baby out? And every time they're checking me, I'm not progressing as fast as I would have wanted to. And so I remember, I think the worst part of it for me is when I kept telling them, I feel like I need to push. The final time, I kept telling them, I feel like I need to push. And they were like, well, do you want to go to the bathroom? I'm like, I just need to push. And then they were like, hold on. And no one was making it a pressing thing. And I kept telling them, I really feel like I need to push. Like, I wanted to, like, it's like I was forcing myself to kind of hold everything in. And I maybe said it like 4 times or so, and then I was like, can I get an epidural? So I needed some type of pain relief. I felt like I needed to push. When they checked me again, I was 9.5 centimeters. Now it's too late to get a freaking epidural when you guys actually check me, and I've been asking for hours. to at least talk to somebody, to talk about the risk benefits. And I never saw the anesthesiologist, never. And thank God I was still under Atlanta Birth Center's care, and it wasn't their doctors that took care of me. Yet their nursing staff was crap. It really was. And I just felt, what pissed me off the most is that Black mothers end up always dying because no one listens to them. But the fact that the people that weren't listening to me were Black people as well. And I was like, damn, really? Really? I digress. Anyway, so one of the midwives, well, two of the midwives from the birth center, they came and immediately took over. And as soon as I said, I feel like I need to push, and she was like, okay, if you feel like we need to push, let's go, let's get ready. And I was just like, thank you. Why the rest of you weren't like this? So we get ready. I was on my back at first, like this normal position that you see people on TV in. And then the other midwife was like, no, let's try all fours. Let's get you comfortable. So I was on all fours, and I had like the best team as far as Atlanta Birth Center. The midwives did amazing. My husband, thank God for him. He kept reminding me to breathe, and shoot, I probably would have passed out pushing if he didn't keep telling me to breathe. And so kept on supporting me, and my doula caring to all my needs while I was pushing. And a whole bunch of pushes later and a whole bunch of pain later. Gosh, getting that head out, Lord have mercy. It's like a fiery pain. But he came out a beautiful 8 pounds, 5 ounces, no tearing, no pooping. Thank you, Lord. And my son, our son, Daxton, was born. And he is just the sweetest little thing. I keep smelling him and enjoying him and just loving him. And the next day, my night nurse was horrible. She was horrible. Never greeted us. Just was just like, I'm here to do this, this, and that. I was just like, yo, what the heck? And yeah, it was just a horrible experience. And my midwife, she did remind me that it's okay to grieve the fact that I didn't get the birth that I wanted. Which sucks. It sucks because even the room they put me in aftercare, there was only maybe 2 nurses that treated me with some type of respect. Other than that, it was hellish. Food was disgusting. And they never, like, no one did their job as far as like they left the IV thing in my arm. They were supposed to check my blood. They didn't do any of that. The stuff that we requested for Daxton didn't happen. It was ghetto. I hated it. I hated my birth experience. I didn't like my pregnancy experience because there was so much going on and so many changes within our family. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm just like, I don't know if I want to do this again. But I know we're planning to have a second child, but I hope it goes completely different. I really pray and hope it goes completely different. But anyways, that is my birth story. And yeah, you guys will see Daxton sooner or later. He's just really cranky and fussy right now, and he has every right to. He's not feeling the best. So I'm gonna go tend to him because he's been crying this entire time. I love you guys, but Jesus love you most, and I'll see you guys in the next video.